Hello, welcome back. Put the tip in. It is the 31st of October, which means it is also, um, in our second video of today, it is the Breeders' Cup meeting at Del Mar across in America. Uh, I love watching this. I wouldn't say I stake loads of cash on it, particularly, and I certainly don't follow the American horse racing close enough. I do listen to the kind of whispers coming across from there as to whether there's a good one. Um, and obviously, people like Wesley Ward, guys like that, they do send the odd horse across to Ascot, so I try and keep an eye on that. My knowledge is obviously more based over here. However, I've heard lots of positive stuff coming out from over there, and there's some good horses. I think realistically, in my tips when I've looked, I I don't have a lot of European horses in there at all. Um, there are the thing is there's certain races, right? For instance, I was just looking at the race I think that True Love's in, or you know, um, or equally even like the classic, and where we've got horses that are kind of dominating at the top of the field, they're just too short prices. And if you want to talk short prices, I went to see City of Troy do his gallop around Southall last year. Um, had a chat with Brough Scott, met Aidan and Brian. Um, it was a really good day. Um, and the confidence was solid. They bought the American Gates over to practice then. Lo and behold, and I said this to my dad, I watched it happen, and I just said, this horse is either going to win this or it will lose the race at the start. That was, and I just have a funny feeling that City of Troy will be badly placed going into the first bend, and then that will be the race over. And lo and behold, um, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the only person to have said that. I'm not professing to be an expert, but lo and behold, that's how it turned out. And this is my point: very short odds horse. We do all of the prep, send them over, and then they just don't produce the goods. And some do, but I think it's a big if, especially if you're betting on horses at like 2 to 1 or even money, etc. Um, Hence why I like doing the value. So I'm going to go through kind of what we've got, um, or what I've picked out that I think looks good. Um, so today in the 21:45, the 9:45 at Del Mar. It's all at Del Mar. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm doing it like I do a normal video. But I've got two horses in this that I like. I've got Schwarzenegger and Obliteration. Schwarzenegger is, I think, probably the better of the two at 15 to 2. But I do really like Obliteration running really solidly. And at 25 to 1, it's just a price I can't ignore for that um, kind of return, essentially. Um, the 11:05. I like Imagination the Lady 9 to 1. That is arguably my best bet of the first day. Not that I've got loads on the first day, but that is the best bet of the first day by miles. I just think it's solid. Four places as well, if I remember correctly, in that race. Um, and then the 25 past midnight. I really like Outfielder and Street Beast. I've heard a couple of people mention Outfielder. I've heard very good things. Street Beast, the only reason I put it up actually is I was watching a preview for it, and one of the most convincing cases I've heard for a horse that's 16 to 1. Just, yeah, overpriced from the sounds of it. I'm not necessarily sure about it, but I've been convinced. Whereas Outfielder was a horse I picked from the start. So we then move on to day two. In the 8:21, we've got Straight No Chaser at 7 to 1. And in the 9:41 comes our biggie. So this is a horse that loves Del Mar. Look, I like course form. I like consistency. We know all of that from the normal stuff we do. This horse is the epitome of that. So 40 to 1 Gold Phoenix. I think that is a solid bet. Um, I'm not saying put your house on it. I'm saying continue doing your normal stakes, but that is a horse I really like at those odds. I just can't get away from it. I try to persuade myself to, because 40 to 1 tells me I'm doing something wrong, but maybe not after another run the other night. The classic, we are going with Journalism at 7 to 1 and Nevada Beach at 16s. Journalism, if we're honest, is was probably gonna, before Sovereignty came out, I thought Journalism was probably the bet because it was kind of 7 to 1, 8 to 1, and would finish behind Sovereignty. But there's a chance. Sovereignty's out now, and I think it's relatively closely matched, in my opinion, with the current favourite, who I can't remember the name of at the top of my head. Um, and closely matched with Fierceness as well. I reckon they'll be sat quite near in the running. Um, Nevada Beach, however, I just think is a beast, and will just chug along for days. So I just think, and Bob Baffert knows what he's doing. He ain't aiming at this empty-handed. So Journalism, Nevada Beach, 7 to 1, 16 to 1. I think they're good. My bet of the week, or the meeting, sorry, is Johannes in the 905. Really, really like this horse. I've watched the playbacks and I just think, yeah, something special about it. I've I don't think it's ever been out the money if I remember correctly. Just really solid horse. In the 1145, we've got Citizen Bull at 8 to 1. Big fan. A bet to nothing now. This is the kind of thing I put my house on, but I'm not going to. Cinderella's Dream in the 25 past midnight, 5 to 1. We all know from over here how good Cinderella's Dream can be. 5 to 1. Also placed over there before. 5 to 1. Very good. If I remember, Cinderella's Dream is also going across for a prep run. So 5 to 1, I think, is a bet to nothing. I would be heaping that because if it wins, you've won. If not, you get your money back because I can't see it finishing out the places. The other horse I do like in that race, however, is Stellify. Heard many pundits go on about this. I also was a big fan. I had it quite a way out at 25s. It's come into 16s. If you can get bigger than that, even better. But Stellify at 16s, I like, and I would take both of those, Stellify and Cinderella's Dream. I think that's the way you approach the race. They are your 13 horses for Breeders' Cup. As per usual, err on the side of caution. Breeders' Cup, not my forte. But I have done a lot of research into it, so hopefully it comes out better than the ARC meeting did. We'll see, obviously. It's across 2 days. But yeah, I hope that's of some use and interest to you. I'll continue doing stuff like this. All right. I will catch you tomorrow and we can review it all. See ya.